You know what was just playing through my mind in meditation was came to my mind was a free ride is a good ride, and that's kind of the mentality that well, there's multiple parts to that too. There's a lot of people that have that mentality, and they just want to piggyback off of other people's hard work, and they don't want to do the actual work themselves. And that's one type of people. But then, but then there's another type of people that my heart goes out to, and those are the people that fell into the deceptions. Those are the people that fell into the deceptions of, the schooling system, right? The Rockefeller schooling system, which was made to breed sheep, that was made to breed followers, not leaders, not free thinkers, because a free thinker is a threat to everything that they've been trying to establish. And one of the biggest misconceptions is, you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to do that, So suddenly we breed generations of kids that of now adults, right, that have all these student loans, these huge ass student loans, right? They have all these debts, credit card debts, student loan debts. They have all these debts, right? Before they've even purchased a house, they don't even have a mortgage yet. They don't even have a house loan that they owe on because they're so far off from everything else. And that's if they're lucky enough to even get a job in the field that they were convinced that they had to go into. Because just like everyone else, they saturated that field. And so by the time these kids come out of college with all this debt that they now owe and they're paying buku interest on, they can't even get a job in that field. So now they're working a job that's not even related to the field. They're making less money than they were promised and everything, right? Now we got AI taking over so much. Well, not even that, just electronics. You know what I mean? Like look at the tolls, and they got rid of tolls, and they don't want to cash. They want a cashless society. They want a cashless society because, well, a cashless society, they're a lot easier to be cut off, and it's a lot easier to track. They can track every movement. They can track everything you're doing. And I don't know. Personally, I don't like everything I do being tracked. But then they take that information and they'll sell it. They'll sell it to third parties. Oh, this person shops here all the time. And then now all of a sudden you start getting ads on your phone for such and such because, all these waivers that we sign a rights away to unknowingly. All we know is, hey, I want to use this app. I don't care what rights I'm signing away because I don't know what rights I'm signing away. I'm just signing on the dotted line without checking. That's a trap that a lot of us fall victim of. We knowingly give our information away. We knowingly give away our rights. We knowingly give away our rights. 3. But it starts with being aware of it, just like any problem. It starts with being aware. Well, 1, being aware that it is a problem, and then 2, working on a solution how to address it. But a freeloading society. They want us in a society of Father May I's. Big government may I. Father may I. They don't want us motivated. They don't want us. They don't want us healthy. You know what I mean? Because we're not killing ourselves with everything we consume. Because that's everything is made to kill us. Well, it's made to shorten our lifespan. It's made to disconnect us from source. It's all made to disconnect us. But the perspective, they're gonna, they spin it off to like it's something good for you. Let's take gym clothes for instance. All the weather wicking and the spandex, all that material, right? The Bible, as the Bible tells us, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, as it tells us, we're not supposed to mix certain fibers and stuff, certain materials. We're not supposed to do that, right? It tells us we're not supposed to do that. And but so when you're working out and your spores open up, all that chemicals and shit that make it do all that, it absorbs into your skin. It absorbs into your body. Just like these non-Teflon pans. Oh great, your food's not going to stick to it. Your food's not going to stick to it. You don't got to worry about that. But you got to worry about all the chemicals seeping into your food. We got rid of glassware. We got Tupperware. Well, let's go throw your Tupperware into the microwave and let that RB, whatever that chemical is, let that seep into your food. That's great for you. Your body's going to love it. Oh, but when you get sick, here, take some of our medicine. Take some of our medicine that has petroleum in it. And no, don't worry about that holistic original, don't worry about that aboriginal medicine that works. Don't worry about that. Worry about this Western medicine. Yeah, take this elixir. Buy this elixir. It's good for you. Doesn't it taste good? It's strawberry. Oh, I love strawberries. Don't you love strawberries? Don't mind that petroleum smell. That smell of money. That smell of greed. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. And once you pay attention to that, it's hard not to get frustrated. Once your eyes open up and you see through the veils of the sea, because once you go down one rabbit hole, they just your eyes. Once you go down the rabbit hole, and your eyes open. You can't close them for one, and two, you see it everywhere, and it's just like it's infuriating, to be honest. It's infuriating. It's discouraging. It's discouraging how many people are just suckered into thinking this stuff is good for us. 5, 4, 3. We're just suckered. We're suckered into it. We're suckered into it. They sucker us in with the possibilities of the benefits, but at the same time they straight up shut out the old ways as if it's false, as if it stopped working at some point when we all of a sudden became smarter than God. First fucking mistake ever. But realizing that you can't fix a problem if you don't realize that it's a problem. But then you can fix the problem. Once you fix the problem, it's joyful. Once we reconnect with God, we connect with Source, we connect with the Most High. We start getting rid of. We start thinking about the possible. We start thinking more optimistic. So we don't fixate on the turmoil of what's going on around us right now. We don't fixate on that turmoil. We fixate on the joyous, prosperous, optimistic future that we know is in grasp. And that's what we slowly strive towards. I mean, yes, we deal with the whatever, we deal with it, right, when we need to, but we don't fixate on it. We put our mind and our attention on the positive, on the possibilities of the positive. Because sometimes it's just the possibility that we have to hang on to. Sometimes it's just the possibility that we hang on to. But it's just that one fiber that we can hang on to can give us a sense of belonging, can give us a sense of purpose, can give us a sense of peace, can give us a sense of hope. It can give us a lot. It can give us a lot, but there's always at least one strand to hold on to. You just gotta find it. You gotta dig deep down inside sometimes. Really, 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 really fucking deep. And then sometimes it feels like it's breaking. And you gotta catch that motherfucker. You gotta catch that before it goes away. You gotta catch that. You gotta catch that. You gotta catch it. Because if you don't, it's going to be a mistake. And, it's going to be a mistake because then you got to start over again. You got to start over again. And yeah, we fall behind. We slip up a little bit. We, that's life, But we don't fixate on it and we don't get stuck in the past. We stay optimistic and think of, you know what I mean? Well, we live in the moment. But when we think about the future, we don't obsess over the anxiety of the future. We you know what I mean? We're optimistic about the cheerful future. We're manifesting happiness and peace and joy, not sitting there manifesting what we're dwelling on, the anxiety, the stress, you know what I mean? We don't, because you are what you think about. Your mind's a battlefield. You can either be its commander or be its soldier. You can either be its commander or be its soldier. What do we got? How about some earth wisdom? Truth. It's such a beautiful sound, the truth. Especially the louder it gets, the more people can hear it. Unless you're a deceiver, in which case you don't like the truth. It's gonna be disturbing to you. It's gonna be disturbing to the demons in you. But that sounds like a personal problem. That sounds a personal problem that you need to seek some clarity on. because the truth is a beautiful fucking sound. The truth is a beautiful sound. It needs to be shouted at you know, the top of our lungs, on top of every mountain, the bottom of every valley. The truth is what's going to set us free. The truth about everything. The truth about what we consume, the music that we listen to, the harmful frequencies that it's intentionally done. You know what I mean? The frequencies of everything. You know what I mean? These 5G towers. You know, the frequencies of, the blue screens that we want, that we look everything through, instead of the red screens, which are beneficial to our health. You know what I mean? It's just everything. The truth. The truth. The truth. Everything we consume. Everything we eat. You know, everything. The truth is going to set us free. The truth is going to set us free. But it's going to be healing, but it's also, it's sad. It's a lot to grieve. A lot that, has been stolen from us. Stolen from us. And unknowns to us as well. A lot of our sanity, a lot of our health, a lot of our cherished ones. People that their lives could have been prolonged a lot longer if it weren't for the systems that we have in place. Had in place, because Trump is changing that. Had in place. But it's all part of the healing process. What Trump is doing for our country is what we need to be doing for ourselves. And it's all part of the healing process. But you gotta get rid of all the junk. You gotta get rid of all the toxins. Gotta get rid of it all. You gotta get rid of it to heal yourself. You have to heal yourself. You have to. And you can't be there for the ones that you care about. Not to the extent that they need you at, if you're not where you need to be. And but that's a constantly changing thing, right? It's a constantly changing thing, and life happens, and there's always going to be things to improve on. But are you working on yourself? Are you trying to heal yourself? Are you doing your shadow work? Are you at least attempting to? Because if you're not even at least attempting to, then you're doing nothing. You're just fucking stagnant, or you're going farther behind, and you're going in the wrong direction. You need to pull a Yui. You need to pull a Yui. But healing ourselves, but it's the tree of life. Each one teach one. One hand washes another. Both hands wash the face. We're all here to learn together. We're all here to grow together. We're all here to help each other. And but by healing ourselves, we're healing others. We're all connected, oneness, and we're all here. We're all here to get different perspectives and experiences. For the collective, to get them together for each other, right? But they're all different. They're all unique. But it's all part of this. It's all part of the. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. It's all part of the tree of life. It's the cycle. It's just how it goes. And we need, but we're supposed to learn from the past. We're supposed to learn, because if we don't learn from it, we repeat it. But that's why, that's why they try to erase history. They try to rewrite his story, because history is written by the victors. And then it gets changed. It gets manipulated and distorted, intentionally, systematically, and intentionally. It's a process. It's a lengthy process, and then these people put a lot of time and effort into what it is. But the truth, what that beautiful, beautiful sound of truth. Truth and freedom. Those both sound amazing, but they go hand in hand, do they not? They're very similar. They're very similar. It's almost like they come from the same authors sometimes. Truth and freedom. They both take finding the strength to stand up for what you know is right, for what you believe in is right. But a lot of times we find our strength. We find our strength in a celerity. We find our strength in our when we take the time to sit there by ourselves and really just connect with nature, right? Be out there grounding, connecting with nature, meditating. It's there where we can really find the strength to do the things that we don't think we have the strength to do. And it's not when we're around our ratchet ass friends. They're gonna hype us up to do some ratchet ass shit. No, it's when we take time to separate ourselves from the noise and the chaos of the world. We take time to find our inner strength instead of looking for our strength outwardly. Just like anything, everything good is, the best things are internally, not externally. But everything around you tells you to search externally for things that are internally. But when you're always searching outside, you're closing your first eye, closing your first eye to blessed sight, to to your lenses that you should be looking through life through. And it's a blessing and a curse, having certain. And there's lots of lenses we can have removed, and there's multiple layers of things to see. And it's just but once you take the lenses off, once you start looking through life through different lenses, you can't put the old ones back on. You can't. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse because you can avoid a lot of stuff. You can avoid a lot of stuff and live in bliss, right? And just navigate through seas, which would seem like with ease, because other people could see it and like they know they would struggle, but you look like you're floating through it. Not to say it's not going to be easy, but it could appear easier than it, you know. But so many different lenses we can always be looking at things through. 1655. We should always be looking through an optimistic pair of lenses because there's always something. There's always something interesting. There's always something to be found through the shadow work. But in the shadow work is the shadow treasures. It's the treasures that we find in the shadows when we do the shadow work. And treasures that we find when we take the time. When we take the time to address the root of the problem and not just the symptom. Too much of our lives that we spend treating the symptoms and not the actual problem. And then wondering why it never changes, wondering why it never goes away. What are your symptoms? What's the root of your illnesses? What's holding you back? What are you doing to change it? Some questions we should ask ourselves every day.